everyone, it's Renee with Delaney Jane Cards. Welcome back to my channel. Very different graphic there for you. This week I am the Growing in Unity girl. It is something that Unity Stamp Company does. They have a different, I guess, kind of ambassador for their products every week for the year. And I happen to pick up this week. So if you're watching this video between October 21st and October 25th of 2019, be sure to click on the link in my description to my blog post, coordinating blog post, and leave a comment there because there is a giveaway. Anyway, to my cards. Today we'll be making 4 cards with the same supplies, the same dies, the same stamps, the same embellishments, but we will get 4 very different looks. And I like to do this because I sometimes get in a rut of making a card with a certain stamp set that looks a certain way, and I feel like I can't make something different. So what I did here is I did all my die cutting and my cutting off screen. I had stamped on some Nina, this unicorn, and die cut that with a Spellbinders shape die. I don't even remember what shape that's called, but it is a Spellbinders die. And I have 4 different paper collections there, and I'm going to color my unicorns to coordinate. You will also notice that there is not a single rainbow unicorn in the collection of unicorns when we're done. Not to say they're not colorful and beautiful, and you know, rainbow unicorns are fun, but I wanted to not do rainbow because I always do rainbow. I thought it would be just more fun and more appealing if these match papers in different ways. So this is a deep purple that I'm using on this first unicorn's mane. I do use the same color combination several times, but like I said, I will end up with 4 very different feeling cards. So this is BV8, or BV08, BV04, and BV00. You get a really beautiful deep purple with that. And here I was taking one of the pattern papers and my hex chart and trying to figure out what BG combination would work best. I don't even know what I picked here, but in the end it does work out well. I do know that's the BG78, and it has become my new favorite shadow color. It's more of a grayed out blue-green, and it seems to work with just about any blue-green combination that I pick up. So the main on this unicorn here was that BV combination and that BG combination. So I'm using some yellows here on the unicorn horn and some R30 and some cool grays. I think it's C00 and C3. Probably would have picked C2 or C1, but need to refill them. And then just adding a little shadows. So here is the second paper collection that I'm using, and I picked out my gold tone markers. They are my Y28 down to I think 21. And I just picked colors from my pattern papers there. I love this gold combination. It's definitely a regular, you know, blending family. This, I think it's the Y23 is just more orangey. So if you're blending, just keep that in mind. And then here again, I went back to that blue-green combination. I used that BG78 for my shadows. I thought that would really play nicely with this gold tone. And it looks really nice with the papers. You'll notice that I did use a BG combination in, I believe, every single one of these unicorns. That is a consistent, but they do end up looking very different, and I can see different recipients for each one. This stamp set is super fun. It says, unicorns are awesome, I am awesome, therefore I am a unicorn. And you'll see later on I do finish the insides of the card with the remaining of the sentiment, which says, and so are you. So very much an encouragement sentiment. I've had this stamp set for a long time. I probably ordered it when it was released. It is by my favorite Unity designer, which is Angie Blom. She draws some of the most beautiful images, and I just absolutely enjoy coloring them. If you haven't had a chance to check out Unity stamps, I would encourage you to do so. They are not clear stamps. They are red rubber, and you get beautiful impressions, beautiful images, and Unity has stamps for everything and everybody, from the super religious to the after dark stamps. And I've been a fan for a very, very long time. So I have quite a collection of Unity stamps, and they're a go-to for me. They probably make up the largest brand collection in my stamp collection, and I've been collecting stamps for well over 20 years, so that should tell you something. So here I was just adding some deeper tones to my unicorn. I think this one has 2 different BG combinations in it, along with that gold combination that I was using. One of the blue-green combinations is more blue, and one of them is more green. So it looks like a multitude of colors there. And I did the same shading on the unicorns, the cheeks, the ears, added the C3 and blended it out with the C00. And then I did color the eyes. Oh, I was like, oh, that doesn't match that paper. And then I realized I was attaching it or putting it on the wrong patterns. So this is my last unicorn here to color, and I was pulling out colors that I thought would go well with this paper. And I wanted to do an all blue-green combination for the hair, like several combinations, but all blue-green. I just felt like this paper was really light and bright and vibrant, and I figured a blue-green mane on a unicorn was super cool, and it would go well with the papers. So I did, this was my first combination of blue-green, and then I picked another one, and like I said, the blue greens range from more green to more blue, depending on what markers you choose, which is kind of nice. It's nice to not always, like, I don't know, it's nice to have the different tones in one family. I like that about the mixed families, the yellow reds, the blue violets, the yellow greens, the blue greens. I really like how the Copic families are set up. So there I'm finishing up the mane in several different blue-green combinations and coloring the unicorn like I did all the other unicorns. And then I used my yellows again for the unicorn horn and little diamonds on her, what is it, a muzzle? And then here I am stamping the sentiment. I wanted to make sure that it would fit in that circle. So I stamped it a few times just to get a nice crisp image. And I did this 4 times because I am making 4 cards. I just spared you having to watch all that. So here, this is how I put them together. I did the same layout on all of them. This just kind of shows that you can use the same card sketch, the same layout, the same image, the same dies, and you can get such very different cards. And I really like that about card making. You get these projects that sometimes you weren't expecting. You can pull out all the same stuff, and you really get a lot of, I guess, use out of them, or they have a great reach, maybe that's a better way to put it. So I did add a little bit of Copic coloring to the sentiment. I always think that it needs a little bit when I use the stamp set, and I blended it out. And so I did put this unicorn directly down on the background, and then I popped up the sentiment because they were going to overlap, and I wanted to make sure it looked like it was intentional. Now here, I used the same embellishment mix on every one of these cards. It's by Buttons Galore. It is called Aloha. It has the most beautiful aqua, clear, pink, and like crystally pink, like little gems, but it also has some stars, like iridescent stars. So between all of the cards, I used a combination of all of them. But like I said, I ended up using the same embellishment on all of them. And then I did the same thing here with the Spectrum Noir glitter pen. I added to just a few of the strands of the mane. Added a little bit of color to each one of these and blended it out with my colorless blender. And here's some of those stars. They're just gorgeous. And my sequins are even all in the same place, basically, in every one of the cards. So you can, I guess, mass produce and do the same setup and still end up with 4 cards or 8 cards or 12 cards or however many you wanted to cut, all very different, just picking patterns that coordinate for each one. And then I, customized the unicorn to go with each of the pattern papers. I think this one probably ended up being my favorite with the purple and the aqua and the gold, although I like this one too. So here is the aqua and the gold mane. And you can see there I was dumping them out because I wanted more of those clear crystals. I'm going to end up having to buy more of this mix just because of what I've used up. There, I don't think there are any more clear crystals in that whole thing, which makes me sad. But I've had that mix for a very long time, so yeah, it works out well. So there I'm just finishing up the last card front, and there they are. Moving everything aside because, my desk is not big enough for the crafter math if that happens. And then here's the rest of the sentiment. It says, and so are you. And then there's this little cute heart with some chevron in it. And what I did is I pre-folded all of my card bases and then I folded them inside out. If I put them in there, I've seen a lot of people do it where they put it in there and it hangs over. I always end up with like weird crease. So I just fold them backwards and use the magnet to stick them down well and stamp my insides. So I adhered them all to their card bases. I just absolutely love this stamp set. It is one of my favorites. I guess I'm going to probably say that about all of my Unity sets. I really picked them with my heart in mind when I picked out my Unity sets. Now here, I pulled out my flashlight so you can see some of the shimmer and shine. This one doesn't show so well, but you can see that holographic looking paper, which is super cool. But you'll see on the other ones, you can definitely see the shine on the unicorns and the manes and, all of the fun that adds to each of these cards. Look how pretty that is. It just shines so beautiful. I just absolutely love it. So here's some still shots at the end, and then I did include Unity's information. If you would like to check out their website, that'll be below. And I'd love to chat with you in the comments, and thanks for stopping by, and give cards generously. Bye.